the largest data center in Massachusetts.
It's nicknamed by a lot of residents in the neighborhood the Dungeon, because it seriously is just this black building that looms over us.
I beg your pardon?
It's big and black, so you called it the Dungeon. Sounds like a stripper's name. Don't let me pull out the Dungeon.
It's a mammoth digital warehouse storing everything from your text messages to your medical files. Jake Fortes might be its biggest critic. This blue house is his childhood home. The building has 27 emergency generators with smokestacks. Jake claims they send fumes toward his home, and he says the rows of air conditioning units on the roof are always humming.
That's a constant.
There are coast-to-coast concerns about what these data centers can do to the environment, from the massive amount of energy they use to the incredible amount of water they need to keep all of the equipment cool. But the owners of this data center say it is not a drain on resources. That's Adam Burnham. He's the corporate vice president for Markley and our tour guide. How many servers do you have here in this building?
There must be thousands.
Thousands?
From hundreds of different customers.
And how much data is stored here?
To use technical terms, it would be petabytes.
Just 1 petabyte is equal to roughly 250 million photos, or the storage capacity of 250,000 smartphones, or 13 years worth of continuous high-definition movies. We can't bring the cameras in this room.
So you're going to see in here servers, routers, switches, equipment from all different types of companies.
This is what a rack of servers looks like at WBZ. Picture thousands of them. To keep them cool, some data centers use up to 5 million gallons of water every single day. You're saying this is as loud as it gets?
So it's not under complete load, but this is the typical noise you're going to get.
But you think it's not making the noise that the neighbor is complaining about?
Correct.
You think he's exaggerating?
I think they're exaggerating, yes.
The people who have lived there for years, never having to hear none of this, are the ones who are exaggerating because of this noise coming out. Each of these AC units contain around 280 pounds of copper, worth $1,350. I guess there's your compensation. Everybody wants to complain about the data centers, but they want the next best iPhone too. I mean, it is kind of true. It's a bit hypocritical because you see what's going on in Congo and the extraction of resources there with child labor, and we don't say nothing about that. But all of a sudden, when these data centers are out here for AI, now we want to complain.
My childhood home is being taken by Georgia Power.
Families in Georgia are losing their homes, and not to any natural disasters or anything like that, to AI. AI needs massive amounts of electricity to run. That electricity needs transmission lines, and those lines need land. And the land they need is through people's backyards, in some cases straight through their houses. Over 330 properties in Georgia alone are being affected right now. The legal tool they're using is called eminent domain. It is a legal right that allows utility companies to take your property for public use. You are owed fair compensation, but the company decides what fair means first. You have to fight them in court to get more. And as you can imagine, most families can't afford to fight billion-dollar companies. One woman has owned her home since 2002. They told her, settle or we take you to court. She doesn't want to leave, but it doesn't matter. Georgia is also giving these companies tax breaks to come in. So taxpayers are funding their own displacement. Every AI query runs through a building somewhere. That building needs power. That power needs your land. The AI boom is anything but abstract. It's a physical footprint, and right now, it's landing on someone's home.
Everybody needs to boycott AI. I don't think that that's going to be possible. Let's be more realistic. These companies need to do is find a more sustainable way of cooling those computers, because right now they only found the cheapest way of doing it. And China has actually something else that doesn't require you to destroy the environment like this. I refuse to use AI and pay my taxes. This is disgusting. Two things of which you'll probably not be able to do, because AI is everywhere and you can't run away from your taxes. You know how IRS is. I was fine just using Google. It's too late. Even Google has its own AI system incorporated in its search. At this point in time, we need to find politicians who are willing to lobby and push these data centers away from these areas. But obviously those politicians are, you know.
Do you hear that noise in the background? That's the sound of a hyperscale data center here in Dowagiac, Michigan. I'm Emma Brott with 16 News Now. Now today I've been talking to residents who are telling me just how loud this place is. Right now there's a class action lawsuit alleging that these loud noises are affecting 1,300 residents within a 1-mile radius of this hyperscale data center. A resident living just across the street from this data center tells me he's bought a decibel reader just to see how loud it is on an average day.
Right there, it's going between 61 and 64 decibels without us talking.
That resident tells me it's been affecting his wife's health and also his pregnant neighbor's health as well, giving her headaches if she stays outside too long just because of how loud it is.
America is in the race to try to beat China with AI, AGI, all that. And if it comes down to a few people having to suffer in order for them to get to that point, they'll let it slide, trust me. Do you remember when going paperless was to save the environment? Yeah, that ship has sailed. We've gone a whole 180 in the opposite direction. I'm annoyed just listening to it on this video. Rent should be free if you have to hear this. The data center should pay for all your expenses if you have to live with it. And it's like a lose-lose situation for all of them because you can't live in the area, plus you're paying high bills because of this.
There's a lot of pressure to bring this new energy online very quickly because states are currently competing for the opportunity to attract these data centers, even though the financial benefits of them for the state has not actually yet borne fruit.
I feel like we can't really plan for the future. We don't know where we're going to live in a year.
Rachel Mask's family bought their home 4 years ago.
Definitely bought this house for the backyard. We just knew there was going to be enough room for chickens, for a garden, for fruit trees.
Now, Georgia Power wants to use half of Rachel's backyard for a transmission line and is offering her $57,000.
It's a lot of money to us. It would be a lot of money to, I think, any regular person. But it isn't enough money to cover the damage to our property value that this will cause.
During their negotiations over compensation, Rachel said representatives from the company discussed using eminent domain to take her land. Eminent domain gives utility companies power to seize private property for public use without the owner's consent if they pay fair compensation determined by the courts.
Eminent domain is always a last resort for our company. In fact, we use it less than 1% of the time.
Bullshit.
The only option is to reach a settlement with them, and I don't really see what leverage the average person has in that situation.
Wait, is that $57,000 a one-time payment for that portion of land? Or is it like you get paid every month or you get paid every year? Because you're literally putting a power line where I'm going to raise my kids. My property value is going to take a hit. Surely it cannot be a one-time payment. But if it is, that's absolutely crap. Oh God, some people here said he voted for Donald Trump.
Damn!
They paved paradise to put up a data center.
It's destroyed a lot of lives.
My house was pretty much surrounded by water.
Record levels of flooding coming out of this site.
Everything was just engulfed in dust.
And behind me is the ground that's being broken on the very first data center in West Virginia. After I heard about the flooding last weekend, I decided to spend the week here and investigate and just generally communicate the full story of the fight that the Mason County citizens are enduring.
They took all the trees and all the vegetation, and then they moved a lot of dirt and changed the elevation. So when all the rain came, it went right into houses.
So how long have you been at this house?
42 years. Beautiful land, trees, deer. It was a wonderful place to be. We didn't deserve this. It's destroyed a lot of lives.
I'm all for jobs. Just the fact that it just shove this stuff on people and not think twice about them.
The fence out back from the construction area was busted open. My house was pretty much surrounded by water, and it was going down the street. Went under our house, in our crawl spaces, got in our HVACs. I mean, essentially this company has destroyed our lives.
The dirt's being blasted all over an entire neighborhood. Record levels of flooding coming out of this site. If HB 2014 wasn't written the way it was written, we would not have any issues. Preempts local authority. The only people that matter in the eyes of this bill are the people in the State House. None of our zoning matters. There is no restriction on how much noise this can make.
Who did this and when?
25 legislative session. All of us regular taxpayers are going to be footing the bill for everything this data center requires. This piece of garbage is not acceptable.
This is unconstitutional. Why do we need delegates?
It's totally illegal and unconstitutional. Because of this House Bill 2014, all our rights have been taken away. It's going to have to be repealed and or amended. Otherwise, our communities are going to be destroyed.
And the comment section ain't even peaceful at all because people are like, vote better. So tell me how you voted. But honestly, you could see the game plan from the beginning. You have the person you voted in, he comes and causes a mess, gives these billionaires the go-ahead to go and build these data centers because of course we have to beat China. Promise you jobs and how much this will be so good for you. And all of a sudden now you see people getting unemployed, destruction of homes. No jobs have been created. In fact, more jobs have been lost. To even make it worse, all at the expense of taxpayers.
high 58s, 59s to 60s.
Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are about these data centers just popping up all over the place, especially with how large they are and taking up people's property space. Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. If it's your first time to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. Also, check out this video if you haven't. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. But nevertheless, I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace.